She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Welcome everyone to the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm John.
Hey John!
Hey guys.
John was supposed to show up one other time, but what happened? Work?
Yeah, I had to work late, unfortunately, and this being the UK, fortunately Claire was able to slot in for me, and I don't think you'd have noticed if she hadn't said who she was.
No, I thought it was you the whole time.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but it's really nice. Thanks for having me on. I'm really pleased to be here.
No problem. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into Twin Peaks or something?
Well, it's funny because in the UK we have these shows on quite regularly where they do like the 20 scariest moments from TV or the 20 funniest moments, and they always include Twin Peaks in that. Mm-hmm. And they always show the final scene with Cooper in the mirror. So the only thing I'd seen of the whole series was Cooper headbutting the mirror, and I kind of got fascinated by it, and then watched the whole thing back to back about a year ago on box set and just loved it, and then got into the podcast and emailed and said, can I guest host? And so that's why I'm here. I just loved the show. Just really, really enjoyed it.
Cool. So the first thing you saw was the last moment.
I'm sure that's the case for loads of people in the UK, that the only thing they've ever seen is Cooper headbutting the mirror, because that's the scary scene that they always show on the clip shows.
So did you connect that when you were watching it? Just like
absolutely
kind of ruin it?
From the first moment. Moment. And the other thing was my wife had seen it when it first came out, and she said, oh yeah, because her father's the killer, right? And I was like, oh okay. So I was well impressed that you managed to avoid any spoilers the whole way through. But
man,
I still loved it.
Alright, today we're going to talk about the movie.
Hello.
Oh, what the heck is that?
Ninja.
Skype ninja,
yeah. Of course it decides to die. Right when we don't need it to.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
Well, many of my victims. But we won't talk about that. And we won't talk about Judy either.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys couldn't tell, Claire is also here.
Sorry guys. Hopefully it won't cut out again.
No problem. Alright. So
can I just say something really quickly? I just saw that there's a Twin Peaks wiki.
Yes.
Yeah? There's wikis on almost everything.
I assumed there was, but somehow this is the first time I've run into it.
Oh.
That's because we never let you go anywhere before.
I know. I feel so free now. Like, I can click on anything.
And we lost Claire.
Man, alive.
We're just going to continue.
We'll just cut her out entirely.
You guys may or may not be hearing Claire on this episode. Okay, so, Brad and Caitlin, what did you think of the movie?
Bananas.
Good bananas or rotten bananas?
Awesome. No, it's really good. It's not what I was expecting at all.
Okay, great. I kind of thought you might like it, but I'm worried about what Caitlin's going to say.
No, I did really like it. I wonder what it would be like to watch the movie without having watched the TV series.
Oh,
it'd be like crazy.
Yeah,
you would hate it. No sense.
You wouldn't be able to make heads or tails of it, yeah.
Anyways, along with the series and the book, I think it makes a great combination. It was very exciting.
Sweet. I was worried you weren't gonna like it.
Why?
I don't know.
He got that impression from you.
I thought it might be too dark.
Caitlin, you're such a hater.
Oh, I know. After watching Twin Peaks, I think it's changed me. I'm sorry.
You're filled with
The
dark.
truth.
Filled with. We've ruined her. Or made her better. Who knows?
What did you think the first time you watched it, John?
I hated it the first time I saw it. I really, really hated it because I literally came out of the series and watched it and just was really disappointed that it wasn't more of the same. And it's only with watching it again that I've kind of begun to appreciate it as... I'm really interested that you guys like it because I found it such a disappointment. I think it's just frustration that it wasn't more. It is so dark. There isn't the whimsy, that feeling you get from the TV show isn't there the same way. But watching it again, it's just well put together. It's really interesting, and that kind of sense that you just don't know there's such a mystery about lots of different things, and it works really well on its own, I think. So really different to Brad and Caitlin, actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm really glad that we read the book first, though. I think that does fill in a lot of the connections and blanks there to bridge the series into the movie.
Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't read the book.
I hadn't read the book the first time I saw the movie, and I just could care less about Laura Palmer. And then when I read the book, I actually cared the second time I watched the movie. What do you think, Mel?
I wasn't sure how I felt about the movie when I saw it the first time, but I knew that it was kind of like, it felt weird, like it was really, really dark, but, I mean, it couldn't help being dark, I guess. That's the subject, but, I mean, yeah, I kind of felt the same as Matt. I didn't really like it, but then when you read the diary, you understand it a little bit better, and then when you do research on the stuff, then you can understand it better as well. Like, there's a lot of weirdness.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that you have to do research to understand the movie better, but
No, I find it fun. I find it fun whenever a movie forces you to do research.
Well, it kind of should be in there though, because
No.
not everyone wants to go out of their way to look that.
I know, but when you don't understand something and then you have to understand it, then it kind of makes it more interesting.
I feel like you can kind of separate Twin Peaks into three groupings. There's like the early episodes that are like really, David Lynch, inspired, the ones he directed, and that, when we're really getting into this, there's like that later stuff in the second season, well, I guess the mid stuff in the second season, that's just that really bad stuff. And then there's the movie. And those are three very different worlds.
Very, yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I like a little of all of them.
Okay. Even...
Because when we were, doing those episodes that were a little rough, they did have some of the funnier moments.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
true.
I like the start of the first series and the start of the second series, where that blend of the darker stuff, but some of it's really funny. Some of it, the change in tone, the lurches in tone that you get, and that's the hardest thing in the film. I thought was that it's really so relentlessly dark at points, and so weird. Some of the other bits are just so offbeat that when I first watched it, I just yearned for some of that more lighter stuff, but then rewatching it, I get more out of the film. I understand bits more, you kind of get the references, and you're right, when you've done a bit more research, you do understand a bit more. I'm really keen to read the book now because I want to understand even more of it,
Yeah, you should definitely get that. If not, just because it's, well, not exactly new, but it's a piece of Twin Peaks merchandise that you can buy after, how many years since something new came out. And more people support it, the more we'll get.
Yeah. The other thing I think about the film is I think it suffers because there's so much of the weight is on, what's the actress that plays Laura Palmer? So much is on her shoulders.
Cheryl Lee, and she's good, but I think she struggles to carry the movie on her own. I think if you had kind of 15 more minutes of Cooper-centric storyline, I think it would just be I would enjoy it a lot more, I think. Okay.
But I felt that Cooper in this movie was awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you could tell that Kyle MacLachlan didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I think they basically had to beg him.
Yeah.
He wanted out.
Yeah, and you can tell.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that we get that whole beginning with like the other agents, and the I feel like there's a lot of stuff, and that stuff is interesting, but you can tell that they're really bridging because they're planning on having more movies, and because of that, we get a lot of extraneous material when this really could have just been the Laura Palmer movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while that other stuff is neat, it's not really necessary in this.
Yeah, I'm sure if they knew they would only get one movie, they wouldn't have had that. But
I think they wanted to explain also, like, Teresa Banks' relationship to Laura. Like,
right.
Yeah, so they kind of had to include that in there.
It wasn't too important, the Teresa Banks
No,
thing,
but it was important in the fact that, that Leland was kind of involved in that as well, so...
But they could have done it more streamlined if they had known that they would just get one movie, and they weren't trying to set up Chet and Sam for the next 2 movies.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bowie.
And Bowie.
Oh, Bowie.
Don't hate on Bowie.
I love him.
He's awesome.
The most odd scene, that one.
Yes.
What did you guys think of Chet and Sam?
They were likable characters, but yeah, it just seemed like a completely different story at the beginning that wasn't unnecessary. But I like their characters.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan? I thought you would be a fan of Chet because he's like he uses actual detective methods.
Well, first, Chet Desmond is the worst name ever.
Yes.
It's horrible. And Kiefer Sutherland, nah.
Nobody likes Kiefer Sutherland for some reason, but I kind of like him with his little bow tie and the fact that he blinks a lot.
Yeah, he
kinda
keeps
like
doing this like really hard blinking.
Yeah, it's really funny.
They actually mentioned Sam in the very first episode when Cooper is talking to Diane on his little tape recorder. He says, "Send the sample to Albert. Don't send it to Sam. He's something or other. He's too something or other."
Awesome.
But I actually liked Chet Desmond. Maybe not so much the first time, but every time I watch this movie, I like it more. So his character grows on me more too.
I love the fact they end up in kind of the anti-Twin Peaks. There's these FBI agents. They roll up to investigate a murder investigation, whereas Cooper, the town, he gets on with the local law enforcement and he loves the diner and he fits right into the town. They rock up to this town, and end up punching the law enforcement and go to the cafe where it's like the anti-Norma serving them in the diner.
Yeah,
it's a complete. It's literally like the polar opposite of Twin Peaks.
Yes, I think Claire just jumped in. You hear?
Oh,
she was here for a second. I heard hello.
I heard hello as well.
And now I think she's gonna disappear again.
She's haunting our call.
Bye, Claire.
Skype lurker.
What did you guys think of the Fire Walk With Me theme compared to the show theme, the one that plays over the fuzzy TV? I really like the music in this movie.
Yeah, they used a lot of themes from the movie. From the series as well. I noticed.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was like really enjoyable. I liked the music a lot as well.
Well, you can tell it's kind of movie grade music. It seems like it has a higher quality to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fire Walk With Me theme is what we use for our theme song, except ours is a Fantomas cover version. A lot of people ask me what that is. They've never heard it, I guess, but yeah, it's Fire Walk With Me theme by Fantomas from their album Director's Cut, which is all horror movie themes that they've covered. It's probably one of my favorite albums. So smashing the TV with the axe is apparently, most people say, symbolism for Eat That TV show. We're not a TV show.
This in your mom's Twin Peaks. Bam! This is a movie.
Yeah. You guys just want to go into some specific notes you got?
When Gordon Cole was trying to contact Chet Desmond there,
Yeah.
he was like in the middle of next to that school bus. I was like, why in the hell is he arresting high school kids?
No,
what's going on?
He wasn't arresting high school kids.
No, I know that now.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, at the time, I was like, oh my god, what's going on?
No,
What was happening?
Yeah, I was wondering, what did those hookers do to those kids?
Sometimes the school bus full of kids just hire prostitutes. It happens.
It happens. I think it had to do with the bus driver.
Yeah, because they were cuffing the bus driver, so I guess the bus driver had some prostitutes in front of all those kids. I don't know.
How silly is that?
But yeah, we get Gordon Cole back, and I was glad to see him, but he's not as fun as he is in the series here. But
did you guys notice the women just randomly walking in front of him when he was trying to contact Chet Desmond?
Yes.
it cuts back and there are just two women just walk from the same corner of the room in front of him. And I immediately was thinking, is one of them Diane? But they just seem to be random women walking across the shot.
That's what I thought too. Is one of them Diane?
It's like they're surrounded by like supermodel secretaries.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the code?
Lil.
That's so bizarre.
I know.
That's why none of these people get anything accomplished.
Use a piece of paper.
Seriously. It's highly ineffective. What's the advantage of that?
Well, I've read that it's again, it's a little dig at people who read too much into the TV show. People who are looking for an explanation for everything, and every tiny detail's got to have a meaning, and have it explained to you. And that's like it's a little dig at super fans who are just obsessed with minor details.
That's great if that's true.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
So I've read. Because apparently there's a bit of dialogue that's then cut where Kiefer Sutherland says, and what's the significance of his tie? And he goes, oh no, that's nothing to do with it. He's just got really bad taste in ties.
Yeah.
Which is just like a throwaway joke, to shift it back in. But
Yeah, Mel's been reading the screenplay.
I have the shooting script right in front of me on my lap.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm kind of following as we go along.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cut scenes you'll have to mention
Yeah,
with the townsfolk,
yeah.
which I think they filmed, but
Yeah, there's
More confirmed to be filmed, I think.
yeah.
there's something like 4 hours of unreleased footage.
Damn
I
you,
think-
David Lynch.
I think it's 4 hours of footage altogether.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, another hour and a half, sorry.
Yeah. It really makes me sad that we'll probably never see that.
He probably had a bonfire.
No, apparently there's like a Twin Peaks vault in Lynch's house.
What?
Yeah.
Asshole.
And nobody ever gets to see it.
He's like, it's all mine.
What about the Blue Rose?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there any significance? I don't know of any significance to the blue. I mean, it's obviously significant, but I don't know what the significance is of the Blue Rose.
I was always under the assumption that Blue Rose equals something to do with Project Blue Book, as in supernatural things are involved.
It's the spooky files.
Yeah.
I guess you would call this an X-file?
So when Cooper finally gets on the case, for like the 3 seconds he's there, again, terrible. He doesn't accomplish anything because there's no giant telling him what to do. And Hawk's not there to get his back.
And there's no one dancing with the Blue Rose.
Guess we'll have to wait till he kills again.
Yeah, he mentions that he had a dream about this day or something at some point. So even back then he was into the dreams. Whoa!
Oh, there's an avalanche of something.
It's coming from Claire. Claire, the Claire ghost.
David Bowie, what's David Bowie doing here?
Claire, he's fading in and out of existence.
I wish David Bowie was here.
Oh, man.
There you are, David Bowie.
We just called down to the front desk. Claire was never here. You think you're good now?
I don't know. We'll see. I seem to have some kind of phantom Wi-Fi, so I might get snatched away to the Black Lodge at any minute.
No,
Okay.
you'll be whisked away to Buenos Aires.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're here, explain what you... Oh, is she gone again? Nope.
No.
Okay.
Quick,
While,
we have to talk fast.
while you're here, explain your experience with the movie, like the first time.
I think this movie cemented the fact that I have a trench coat kink because Chester Desmond,
Aww.
he's lovely. I can't remember when I watched it. I watched it quite a bit after the series originally. It scared the living daylights out of me, as it does most people. But then I was very young when I watched it. I think I was about 12 when I saw it.
12.
Didn't get it at all. Yeah, it was around the time it came out, so I would have been 12 or 13.
Did you like it a lot, or just confused, or... Uh-oh.
She's gone again.
I think she might be gone.
Say hi to David Bowie.
Yeah. Yes. She's back to the convenience store.
Yeah.
Or the room above the convenience store.
I'm never gonna go in a convenience store ever again, by the way.
Any other notes on like the Chester and Sam portion?
I really like the scenes in the trailer park. I think this probably puts me in a tiny minority of people, but I love the the really odd feeling they get when they arrive, and the fact that that woman with an ice pack over her eye just wanders into the camper van and just looks at them and wanders off, and the mood completely changes. I mean, and maybe I'm in a minority, but I kind of like those early scenes in that they've got a real dreamlike quality, and because they're not part of the main narrative, I don't think the fact that they don't make complete sense matters. So you can take away quite a lot from them, and I love the fact that no one knows who the woman is that plays. There's no registered actress with the name of the woman who played the woman with the eye pack. So there's theories that it was David Lynch playing it and stuff like this. Which
I don't think so.
is manifestly not the case. It's such a... I think that what I really like about the film is the kind of the dreamlike quality, and I think so much of that comes from those early scenes, where Desmond just vanishes and David Bowie. It's absolutely batshit insane, but just the feel of it is really it's one of the bits I enjoy the most about it.
Yeah, what did you guys think was up with that lady? She comes in and she looks at the manager, and it looks like he started crying. I thought maybe that's his wife that he beats. I don't know.
It almost had a supernatural quality. Like, there are several moments in this movie when the characters would become entranced, and I sort of thought that they were seeing someone. Like, I wasn't sure if that woman was actually there and if she was just more of a vision.
Oh yeah, but everybody saw her. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also all that with like the power lines. There seemed to be some kind of connection to electricity or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would all seem to be connected to that. I don't know.
The racist power lines with the Indian bellow. That's something. I think it happened once in this series, an Indian bellow of some kind, but it just pops up in this movie and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it means. What did you think of the autopsy of Teresa Banks compared to the autopsy of Laura Palmer?
I still don't like what they do with fingernails. It's gross.
This
So creepy.
Yeah, this one was like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Everything about this movie is 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's just freakier all around.
Or 10 times better.
Well, depending on your point of view.
Yeah.
Also, that letter was so tiny. Where did that come from?
It's also a letter T, and I'm not being funny. If he's leaving letters around spelling out his name, it seems everyone knows him as Bob. Leaving a T in there doesn't, it's not exactly a major hint for anyone to follow.
Well, he wants to get the full Robert, so he,
I know, it's just,
so he can, get more victims out of it, more mileage.
And he has to do it backwards because he's in Black Lodge speak.
Yeah. Did you guys? I didn't understand why Chet made Sam spill his coffee on
He was just
himself.
trying to make fun of him.
He's a jerk.
Fuck you, Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
If you're dumb enough to fall for that, though, you deserve everything you get, I think.
I guess.
When we were talking about the scene there with the woman sticking her head in the trailer, the deputy Cliff, he was supposed to show up right after she kind of backed out. He was supposed to be like, "Hey guys, like
Really?
how's it going?" Yeah, that's what it says here in the shooting script.
What was he gonna do?
I don't know. Just ask them how it was going, sarcastically probably, and then they were kind of suspecting him for a little while, but then they ruled it out.
Okay. Well, he is into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claire, can you speak? Can we hear?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can.
Yay!
Yeah.
Maybe not for long though.
maybe you only disappear when you pipe up.
Maybe when I talk, I get snatched away because
Yes.
they're worried about what I will reveal.
Exactly.
Oh, I can read you my notes really, really quick.
Sure.
She does a good job at playing dead. I put the HAP sign is positively disturbing. A neon clown crying with a palm tree growing out of his neon head. That was just creepy. And then I've put Coop, Albert, Cole, David freaking Bowie. And I think that's where we're up to.
Okay.
You could just cut out the rest of the conversation and just have that as the opening.
Yeah.
If I cut out, then just honestly just ignore me. I'm just going to listen and go, oh.
All right. If you have anything really important, you can type it.
I will.
We'll say it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, and Teresa Banks is not 17. She looks about 43.
I know. She looks pretty older.
Yeah.
She's still good looking, but I mean...
Yeah, she's quite foxy, but...
Yeah.
Rough 17.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she does do coke.
And maybe some meth?
Maybe.
That'll put hair in your chest.
And also, they couldn't make her 17 because that would massively draw attention to the fact that all of the other 17-year-olds are also 40 when
Yeah.
this is filmed.
Oh, son of a...
Just throw the phone at Root.
Hi, Mel's mum.
Andrew.
Oh, well, answer it. It's his friend.
Hello?
His one and only friend.
Aww.
Just kidding.
But we're all here, Mel.
Yeah, I know.
Are all of your recording sessions this efficient?
Sometimes.
Usually
I found
my
that-
internet doesn't keep cutting out. I don't know why it's playing up today. I don't know.
I know we're not going to get to it forever, but I just want to point out right now, I have the TV paused on the first appearance of Shelley and Leo, and Shelley's wearing the most ridiculous mom jeans in the world. They're so
Caitlin, are you
high.
sending us porn?
No.
Oh.
It's the video that Matt wanted to talk about.
Did you guys mention about the weird little thing where he said his line twice?
No, but that was bizarre.
It was. I didn't know if you got up. I'm just trying to work out where you guys are up to.
We kind of just jumped around through the Chet Desmond bit and have kind of finished talking about that.
I
So.
prefer the first half an hour to the rest of the film.
I said that.
Yeah, I really do. I love all the kind of crazy, because I just love it. Sam and Chet having their little adventure.
See, I like everything that happens, and I
In
like
the anti-
all the weirdos, but I don't like them. Just replace them with other people.
Oh, rubbish. It's Kiefer Sutherland and Chris Isaac.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, the worst. But maybe I'm just saying that because he plays the villain in the film adaptation of America's favorite 17th favorite comic strip, Canine Marmaduke.
Oh my god, he does, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my copy on the shelf right now. Oh, Marmaduke.
Marmaduke, no!
Yeah, Marmaduke. I forgot he was the baddie in that.
Alright, back.
Sorry, we've been talking about Marmaduke.
Oh, was he in this?
I was here. Matt was not.
Was he in this movie?
I had to pause the microphone.
His
that's
arch
across-
nemesis is in the movie.
That's a crossover fan fiction I would pay to read. Marmaduke and Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
I will write that.
Okay, so what did you guys think of the ring?
What? Okay, explain this. How does this ring work? What does it do?
I was confused at first too because they're like, "Don't put on the ring," and then she puts on the ring and it saves her from being possessed. So what?
I want to hear what you guys have to say about this before I read some theories.
Yes, I need help.
No,
People
but
talk.
I want to hear. I want to hear other theories. There. Do any of you guys have theories about this?
I always figured that Coop just didn't really know what the ring did and was distrusting of it, and then therefore told her not to put it on, rather than he actually knew exactly what it would do.
I figured that they don't, there's no clear explanation for it. It's, is it good? Is it bad? Is there a happy ending to the film? Is there a bad ending to the film? I think it's left deliberately unclear, probably, because I can't work it out.
Caitlin?
It's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. When she put the ring on, it seemed to me like she was saved, even though she died. So by dying, she was saved from Bob. Sort of.
See, I feel like the ring is like the key to going in and out from the Black Lodge. And if you put it on, then you're going to wind up in there.
Okay.
And maybe if you've got it when you're in there, you can get out.
Okay, so I found this passage on the website endofmedia.com where they talk about Firewalk with Me, and there's a whole thing about the green ring, and they say that this guy has a theory that he says that the green ring is a mark of death. Whoever wears it must be killed by Bob, and the resulting Garmonbosia, and that's another thing we're gonna have to talk about, handed over to the man from another place. I don't want to read the whole thing because it's really long, but he basically says that the man from another place uses the Tremons to move the green ring in the real world. That's his theory, and the wearer of the ring briefly experiences numbness in the arm of the ring finger. And he brings up the point, he or she, I don't know who wrote this, but they bring up the point that whoever wears the ring usually gets killed by Bob not long after, and there's parts in the script that were deleted that include Annie wearing the ring at one point, and then a nurse takes it away from her. But it was suggested that maybe she was doomed because she was wearing the ring, but then somebody took it away, so she was saved. That kind of stuff. So basically it's death. So they're also suggesting that when Laura took the ring, she committed suicide.
Yeah. So she'd get out of being possessed. I guess.
That's what it seemed like to me, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why Dale told her not to take the ring, because he didn't want her to die, but...
Alright. I'll buy it, I guess. It's like I say...
But it didn't make sense for him to say, don't take the ring, and the ring was a good thing, that it would save her soul, you know? That didn't make sense, because Dale would never say that, unless it was the bad Dale.
Yeah.
You know?
Dale never completely makes sense.
No, yeah, you're right, but he wouldn't do something bad on purpose, you know? That would be out of character for him.
But he never really knows what he's doing anyway.
Oh, ye of little faith, Brad.
So, Chet Desmond disappears. Any other
When he takes the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stan grabs the ring, he disappears.
Yeah. There might be something about picking the ring up physically, because doesn't Laura pick it up in the dream in the first instance?
Yeah.
And then she hasn't got it in the morning, and then she picks it up physically in the carriage.
It's kind of a complicated movie to discuss a little bit, because there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. So.
Yeah. And I don't think you're supposed to know how it all works.
No, you're just supposed to guess. Well, not even, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what he expects from us, that David Lynch.
And also, again, he's hoping to bridge it into other movies.
Yeah.
So he needs some slack room to play with.
Yeah.
I think his plan was he had 4 characters, I think I read, in the film that could be bridged into other films, like focusing on them. Do you have anything about that, Matt?
No, but...
I think it was Philip Jeffries, Dale Cooper, Chet Desmond, and...
Sam?
No, not
Judy?
Sam. No, maybe it was Gordon. I don't know. They were all very FBI
Okay. Albert?
focused. I'd definitely watch an Albert movie.
Albert spin-off.
Just him being curmudgeonly.
Albert didn't get to do too much in this. I was sad.
Yeah.
My building may burn down, by the way.
Are you cooking something in the microwave?
Somebody's fire alarm's going off.
You might want to run out.
Let me go take a peek really quick and make sure everything's above board. Back.
Oh, Matt, I was going to tell you, because I thought you'd appreciate this. Earlier, when I was at work, I was listening to a podcast called The Projection Booth. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Nope.
And they did an episode on RoboCop. And which was great. It was really, really interesting, really good. But as part of it, they did an interview with Miguel Ferrer, and he talked quite a bit about Twin Peaks.
Oh, sweet.
Like like how he's inspired, how he got the job, how he's inspired to portray Albert, and all that kind of thing. So, I would recommend it.
Oh. Send me the link, please.
All right.
Beep,
Beep. Beep. Beep.
Are you on fire yet?
It's a slightly weird experience. Just listening to a fire alarm going on.
You know, it's very fitting.
Yeah.
Fits the mood.
It's kind
I
of...
noticed that all this electrical interference is happening while we're talking about this movie. That's
No.
This podcast is cursed.
Sorry, guys. I'm just going to hang up until this stops.
Oh my
'Cause I don't
god.
think there's anything wrong, but I want you guys to be able to go ahead and talk.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh
Nia.
no. I'll stand in for Brad.
I should mention that in the Philadelphia FBI offices scene, there's a cut scene from Cooper talking to Diane, and he's flirting with her, but you don't hear Diane.
Do you see her?
No, he's in the hallway and he's talking to her. She's in a room, and you're only seeing the hallway apparently, and he's just flirting with her and telling her how beautiful she looks and how sensational, and what did you do to that room? And, yeah, it's kind of funny, but you don't hear what she says, but he just replies to her.
Do you think she sounds like the teachers in Charlie Brown?
Maybe, but then she tries to get him to guess what she did to the room, and apparently she moved the clock about 6 inches to the left. And he's like, "Ha ha! How clever, Diane! Now go make me a pot of coffee." Basically.
I think it would have been a shame if they'd ever cast Diane.
Yeah.
Because I think that it worked really nicely as a little conceit, you know, a little trick. Would have been a real shame if they'd ever, you know, because whatever they'd come up with wouldn't have been as effective as just this person who hears the tapes, you know.
Yeah.
I still like to think that Diane was the name of the dictaphone, and there was no person called Diane. In my head, that's canon.
That's nice.
I think he was talking to the dictaphone like in the room, and it was far, far away.
Yeah. No, that's why I'm glad the scene was cut, because it pokes holes in my theory.
Yeah.
But then who would do all the things that Cooper asked Diane to do?
He does. He just doesn't know. He's crazy.
Cuckoo.
He's a dark passenger.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want
Fire, walk with me.
Oh, I was about to say, oh man, I don't want to like talk about some of this stuff without both of our newbies here.
It stopped.
Good. All right, so what do you guys think of the whole David Bowie thing?
So awesome.
Awesome.
That was real. That was like the first moment that really super creeped me out when Cooper's going back and forth to the video camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was awesome.
So
one of the things I've realized that actually genuinely scares me more than anything is the whole concept of seeing something that you shouldn't be seeing.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's why Paranormal Activity really freaked me out the first time I saw it. It's just this the fact that he goes to the camera and it's fine, but then he goes back and he's seeing himself still standing there freaks me out beyond anything.
Yeah, it's really scary.
I was kind of confused as to why he was testing that out. Like, it looked completely fine the first few times. Like, why do you even think to do that?
Giant told him.
Well, maybe
It's probably
dream.
his dream.
Oh, he had a dream about it?
The second time he did it, he went back in front of the camera. I could tell exactly that he was at one point going to see himself in front of the camera when he wasn't there. It's kind of predictable, but it was still really creepy and cool, especially since David Bowie showed up.
Yeah. What did you think of his scene? Like, what do you think was going on with him and the imagery we saw of the, I don't know, the dinner party of the Black Lodge people?
The dinner party in the top of the convenience store.
The dinner party over the convenience store.
I wish there was more so I could have a somewhat of a grasp of what that means and what it connects to.
I'm sure
was
I
great.
read somewhere that. Oh, sorry. I'm sure I read somewhere that bit in above the convenience store, it was like 20 minutes they shot,
Wow.
and then they just cut it down, and it's just under a minute.
Which
So it's out there
either
somewhere.
Which either means there's a load of great material out there that no one's ever seen, or they got one good minute of material, and the rest was just really dull. And and what they've shown is sufficiently. It's just obscure enough to keep everyone interested. I really love the Bowie bit. I think because Bowie's perfect for that role. You know, his acting ability is not great, and so they give him this really kind of obscure, weird bit to play, and he's just perfect for it. And it just throws together, you know, the kind of time not working the same way, a missing person turning up, you know, the electricity jumping around all over the place, and Gordon Cole shouting loads, and the whole thing just comes together. It's really, really good. Really love that bit.
They cut out a bunch of stuff from the Philip Jeffries scene as well, though.
Because when he vanishes, he's the original. He was supposed to appear in a hotel in Buenos Aires. Is that right? That's, you know, he's supposed to just vanish and reappear in odd places.
He's like a renegade quantum leaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he points at Cooper and he says something about,
Who do you think this is here?
yeah, who do you think this is here? Yeah, so Cooper's already in the lodge, even though he's not. And actually, I noticed the first time you see Cooper, when he walks in, you get the Black Lodge music for a second. That saxophone.
Yeah, apparently, Philip Jeffries, his first scene is supposed to be at a hotel in Buenos Aires, and then it appears in Philadelphia, and then he disappears again and reappears in the hotel, and the wall behind him is completely charred black. And the maids and all the bellhops are all freaking out all around him, and they're all scared of him. And he's just like, oh.
Awesome.
What do you guys make of Judy? Did you guys...
I'm not going to talk about her.
Maybe we shouldn't bring her up.
Such a bitch. I don't even care. I'll say it.
Do you want to go through the theories, Mel? The
No, you
Judy
can.
theories?
You know a little bit more about it than I do.
Well, there's a few theories. One of them is that she was a previous Bob victim, and anybody who investigates a Bob victim kind of, you know, meets a strange fate. So people were thinking Judy could have been the first victim, and Agent Philip Jeffries went to investigate, disappeared. Then Teresa Banks, Chet Desmond disappears. Then Laura, Coop, Black Lodge. That's one theory. Then there's a whole other thing, completely different, where apparently Judy is Josie's sister because Jeffries mentioned something about Josie, or I don't know exactly, but... And then there's people have photos of this Chinese woman in a dress.
What?
Yeah, there's
people have these photos of a Chinese woman in a dress.
Yeah,
they decided that's Judy.
Hey,
what?
Yeah, I wasn't finished. In a dress in the red room. Yeah, so I don't know. People.
In the final scene,
there's a woman visiting the set.
I've read Mark Frost say that's not true. That it's not Joyce's sister.
Yeah, well, he told us that too, but...
Oh, was that when he... Okay,
but also,
I've heard him say it to you then.
But also, he wasn't involved in the writing of this movie.
Apparently, Robert Engels said that, yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, at one point, he said it could have been, and then at a different point, he said no.
So, I don't even think they know.
Yeah, it's a big...
Well, David Lynch is a big Wizard of Oz fan, so maybe he just put it in as a reference to Judy Garland.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. You just want it to be mysterious. I guess the idea of Judy kept changing through the script, like them revising the script and thinking about new ideas.
And maybe...
So that's why maybe it's so confusing.
And maybe at one point they wanted to remove it, like in editing, once they figured out they had to tighten this story down, but they couldn't really remove it because David Bowie, blurts it out immediately upon entering. You can't really...
Maybe Judy's just the name of the monkey.
Well, the monkey... Yeah, did you guys notice that? Like, much later, like, I think right after Laura dies, there's close-ups of the monkey under the mask. And really lightly you hear, Judy.
I totally I thought that was really scary.
Yeah. That's creepy.
So what the fuck, man? What
the... It's gonna be nightmares.
And did you say also that they also said that Judy could be Laura's secret name in the Black Lodge?
At that point, they were like, yeah,
there's all kinds of theories.
Maybe Judy is Laura. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really exhausting to read all of it because so many people have different ideas.
And you know what? None of them are right. I'm sure that they just were like, okay, it would be... I'm sure they don't have any of the concepts nailed down that hard. I'm sure it's just it's weird and it's offbeat and it throws things, and it creates a good mood. So they used it, and everyone, like the Blue Rose, like the dance, like Lil. Everyone's looking for the really.
Exactly.
It's Lil. People are looking for Lil, and then it's not.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it's one of those things where people always complain that these writers they don't know what they're doing. They're just making up as they go along. But in reality, that's kind of what you want. Yeah. Because when everything's too planned, the writers get bored writing it, and in the end, it becomes boring.
Yeah. And at least they don't try and retrofit an explanation. They're quite content to leave it. It's not a puzzle to be unpicked. It's a mystery, and you can have whatever take you want on it. You can judge what you think is the explanation. I thought that was the best bit of the interview with Mark Frost. Because he's clearly, everyone wants to ask all these really detailed questions, and I do. I want to know the answers, but. For him, it's something he wrote 20 years ago. Sometimes he can't remember. Sometimes he's just like, well, what do you think it means? And that's so one of the best things about Twin Peaks is they just leave it. They leave so much hanging.
I like it, and it infuriates me at the same time.
As it should.
Yeah. So, cream corn. You guys get why Mrs. Tremont didn't want any cream corn from Donna now?
Because it's gross.
All that.
Because it looks exactly like Garmin Bosia, which is apparently fear and pain, and they eat it.
Nom 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 nom. And it looks like cream corn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I swear, I thought he said Gorgonzola. The first time.
You know what? I saw that on a website. I was trying to get more explanations on it, and somebody else said that too. On a forum.
Because you get the subtitles, and I kind of double took, and it's like, what? No, it's not Gorgonzola.
Talking of subtitles, did everyone have subtitles in the pink room scene later?
No, but I have the script here.
Ah,
really?
Because some prints I know have them and some don't.
Yeah.
Because he went back and forth, I think, about adding them and deciding whether or not he wanted them, and then by the time he decided, I think some of them had them added and some of them didn't.
Yeah. We didn't miss anything too important there, I don't think, did we?
There's a few things that are kind of interesting that happen.
Yeah.
but we'll get to it when we...
Well, I guess we should start talking about Laura. This is her movie.
Alright, well...
Let's talk about...
Do you want me to find it?
Yeah.
What was that?
Before we mention Laura Palmer directly, can we say something that I love that somehow I didn't know about beforehand?
What's that?
Donna 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
totally.
Are you surprised?
Yes!
Were you pleased?
Pleasantly surprised.
Oh,
She's awesome.
I was surprised and slightly disappointed.
Were ya?
I'm sorry.
no, I was too the first time I watched it. I was like, aw, this isn't Donna.
Well, yeah, it is sad for continuity's sake. I do prefer to have continuity, like a visual continuity, but
I do like this actress better. The
Yeah.
more I
Yeah,
look at it,
totally.
like, I think
She's one of the... Oh, sorry, Mel, go on.
she fits the character way better, I find.
Yeah. Out of all the kind of continuity like things that are different from it, she's the only one that I prefer. Like, I don't like the new Palmer house, like the new or the different double R, you know, all these things, the different Leo and Shelley front room. But I do really like the new Donna because she just seems much more sweet and innocent and less vampy than Lara Flynn Boyle.
yeah. So why do we think Laura Flynn Boyle wasn't in the movie?
She's the worst.
Do you guys think it's because they had troubles with her, or
I think she just didn't want to show her boobs.
maybe?
Do you think they told her Donna wasn't in the movie?
They lied.
No, sorry. There's no.
Get the call.
We decided to go a different direction.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now, and it says that the actual explanation, though many people say it was because she didn't want to be topless, they say the real explanation is that she was already scheduled to shoot 4 films.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Fuck
They were
those
all
4
massive
movies.
hits. Yeah.
What were those movies?
I heard those movies were really bad too.
Surely. Laura Flynn Boyle in them.
On that note, I was just reading about Maura Kelly, who played Donna Hayward.
Yeah.
And it says apparently for the film, she went home and got her permission from her priest because of the explicit sex scenes.
Oh yeah.
She also played Nala in The Lion King.
Yeah. And she was in ice skating rom-com The Cutting Edge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just according to IMDb, Lara Flynn Boyle, the films she made in the same year as Fire Walk with Me were Where the Day Takes You, Equinox, and Wayne's World. I didn't know she was in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Ah. Before it switched over to Laura Palmer, they had one last reference to the dream sequence from episode 3. They had the "Let's Rock" on the
Yeah.
witch. That was the final bit of reference calling back to that. They covered everything now.
I thought it felt like a challenge. It felt like
That's true.
a taunt to Cooper, because in the sense that they know what's coming, in a way he doesn't. That's what it felt to me, and I liked that. I thought that was really neat. It kind of felt a bit threatening.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about it, so David Bowie disappears, Chet Desmond disappears, Cooper gets taken over by Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying least effective. That's the worst thing that should happen. If he was the best FBI agent, he should have avoided that.
You think
And just one final point: Kiefer Sutherland can judge the value of furniture in a room just by looking at it.
yeah.
There's that bit where he just goes, $27,000 worth of furniture. in
I
there."
love that.
Which,
Yeah.
What'd you say about the script?
There was apparently a couple other instances where he looks inside Teresa's trailer and he says like $5,600.
They cut all them out.
Yeah, they cut all.
He'd be good on The Price is Right.
Yeah, really.
Seriously, though.
Oh, can I also say that the wig that Cheryl Lee wears is the worst.
Yeah.
oh man.
Oh.
But-
Yeah, I just needed to get that in, sorry.
It's very noticeable, yeah, especially when you do like a side-by-side kind of thing.
And you go, your hair is made out of plastic.
Are you guys happy to see Harold again?
My big problem with the whole Laura scene, well, one of the problems is that the characters you would want to see again are not the ones that you see a lot more of again. So James is there, Donna's there. It's a better actress, but Donna's by no means the most interesting character.
Yeah.
Harold indifferent, Leo indifferent, Jacques just weird.
Shelley underused.
Yeah, completely.
James?
I think I realised when I watched the film that one of the reasons the second half of the second series suffers is because Ray Wise is not in it, and he's so good. He's the best actor in the series.
I agree.
And the scenes with him are fabulous. But Harold, I mean, yeah, okay, fine, you're back, but really indifferent.
Yeah, that's true.
I was really expecting more from Harold. I thought there would be something. I stand by, that character is the worst.
It feels like they just put him in because, like, I guess one of the problems they had with the film was they had so many things they had to hit because they've set it up before. You know, like the whole James and Laura saying goodbye scene, which I really could have done without because I really hate that scene. But they have to have it in there, and they have to have Bobby killing the guy. And so they had to have, you know, the diary going to Harold and stuff. Whereas I think that's why I prefer, I think, the first half of the film, because I really like, because it's all stuff that we know already. We don't really need to see it. I prefer the stuff with Laura that we don't know about.
Right. So
like the moments between her and Leland.
Yeah. So Bobby's killed 2 guys again.
Bobby's a killing machine.
But I think they're probably retconning that first kill.
Yeah.
That's why it was kind of weird to talk about last time when you're like, oh, we found out who Bobby killed.
No one really remembers the first one, including Bobby. Oh yeah, I did kill a guy, didn't I?
What did you guys think of when they went on about you killed Mike?
I thought that was really awesome and interesting, because really, as drugged up as they were, that is something that could have gone through their heads.
I didn't think Bobby was drugged up. He seemed lucid.
He was drunk a little, but
I guess. But she actually got him questioning, "Is this Mike?"
Well, yeah, and he's just killed someone, so I'm sure even if he's not messed up a little bit, he's emotionally so messed up that he's probably susceptible to fears.
Yeah.
There's yet another theory out there that says that, he killed Deputy Cliff.
Yeah, from Deer Meadow.
From Deer Meadow, and there's yet another theory that Mike might have inhabited Deputy Cliff at one point.
Same.
So that's why they're saying that he killed Mike. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was the all caps Mike.
The all caps Mike, yeah.
That's a little much, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just a theory.
It's interesting to think about.
Calm it down, people. Calm it down.
I'll stop, okay?
So
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the people on the internet.
So Norma and Annie had about 5 seconds each in this film.
Yeah.
They were underused as well.
Yeah.
Norma's got a sultry new haircut.
Or old haircut.
It's like a pixie haircut.
It's a prequel.
Yeah.
All right, I've got to talk about Shelley for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so we get this first little scene of her and Leo in the house, and like Leo's cleaning the floor and telling Shelley how to do it.
Yeah.
First of all, their house has more walls, which means they've lost walls between now and the beginning of the series. And secondly, Shelley is wearing the highest mom jeans in the world.
Well, it was the early 90s.
Yeah.
It is, but they're so crazy.
But I still think she manages to look really hot. Like, she's a good-looking woman.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She pulls off the mom jean look.
Back to Annie. I really liked that they put her in, and what she said in that little line they gave her, mentioning Cooper stuck. The good Cooper stuck in the lodge.
Throwing us a little bit of a bone.
Yes.
We know you want to see this, but we didn't forget about it. But
yeah,
the whole nightmare scene I really enjoy.
Yeah,
where she hangs the picture and sees herself in the kind of Alice in Wonderland style through the looking glass. It's really well done. Enough hints and enough references that it's really. You feel like you should understand it, but you just can't.
That Palmer house is just the worst, guys. I'm sorry. It's just scary. Would you want to live there? I don't think so. Imagine yourself, like, living in there, your dad and your mom. Your dad rapes you and you don't know it.
No.
Like, scary.
Let's not imagine that.
Yeah.
No, but that's like, but when you're watching the movie, I mean, you can't help but think about it.
No, I know.
I really, really don't like the house they used in it. Like I mentioned it earlier, but the fact that it's it's like in a row of houses almost.
Yeah, and the
It's
pilot.
not like in the series, where it was kind of tucked away almost behind trees, and it just looked so much more secretive. And I don't know. I just prefer it. But I did. One of the things I did note when I was watching it this time was that the front of like the Palmer house is green, and I don't know if they used a green filter, but like the green really seems to pop in this film. I don't know if you guys had that as well. Like, so I don't know if it's the way they filmed it or something, but there's like definitely some kind of use of green in the film. They highlight it a lot with like, there was like books in Harold's house, there was the bottom of Laura's shoes were green, her eyes looked really green at some points.
I think, just to throw something in this, I think I vaguely remember something from my lighting design classes.
Okay.
That the color green is psychologically disturbing to people, especially in lighting.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
it makes people unsettled.
It really seemed to pop, yeah. And I'm trying to think of some of the other ones I noticed. There was her jacket was really green. Sorry, not the Palmer house, the Hayward house, I think, was the one with the green front. But yeah, it just seemed to be all throughout the film, particularly in the Laura scenes, when it was kind of her going about her stuff. Not so much at the start, which is why it makes me think that it was intentional, because it wasn't in the Deer Meadow stuff, or I didn't notice it.
It worked.
Yeah. What did you guys think of them going back to Washington to film this? Do you think the film benefited from the atmosphere? Do you guys even notice that, or is that just me?
Again, I haven't really paid attention because first time watching through it and everything.
Yeah.
I think in the future I may pick up on it more.
Okay. Because the diner is the exact same diner from the pilot, and it does look way different from the series. So let's talk about Leland. So we get to see what Laura's life is like here.
It's so much more terrifying than you would have guessed, like watching the series the first time. Also, you realize that her mother definitely probably knew who killed her.
Yeah.
She was complacent in all of this psychological torture.
It explains why she's so messed up.
Yeah.
A lot.
One of the worst scenes is where Leyland, he brings her the drink and she half drinks it and he just shoves it down.
Yeah.
He just tips it up, and there's no kind of pretense that, oh no, finish the drink, it's good for you, or anything like that. He just tips it up so she finishes it.
Yeah.
It's just really uncomfortable. And then she sees the horse, of course, which is
Still don't know what that horse means, but
what that's about. But Ray Weiss is amazing in this, because not only is he terrifying, but you get these glimpses of Leyland beneath, and yet you don't feel like it's inconsistent. It's just a really, really good portrayal of someone who's possessed or schizophrenic or whatever reading you want to put on it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, when he was feeding her that drink, you could kind of see on her face she realized, you're drugging me now and I'm going to go to sleep.
She was probably like, this is a blessing.
Yeah. And when he's telling Laura to wash her hands.
Oh.
That was the saddest part of the movie to me, like one of the saddest.
Yeah.
Like just like the psychological abuse and stuff. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why didn't she run away a long time ago? Really?
Yeah.
She should have ran away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Matt and Mel, you don't have to keep this in, but I've put here as a note for you guys, or that that you guys will get. What did I put? Sarah, you should know after watching Carnival that when there's milk, there's going to be some kind of trouble after that.
Terror.
Yeah, which we've learnt from Carnival.
Listen to CarnyCast to get that reference.
Yeah, sorry.
What'd you think of Laura's life and Leland in particular, Caitlin?
Is really terrifying. I felt like I was kind of in Laura's shoes, watching Leland, like at every moment trying to figure out who was there, if it was Bob or Leland himself. I think there were only a few moments when Leland was actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think it's even more obvious. Well, even more exaggerated and terrifying after having read Laura Palmer's Secret Diary, the book.
Yeah.
Because you can really see how terrified Laura is.
One of the things that really, really freaked me out was I wasn't expecting when she found out that Leland was possessed by Bob, when she figured out it was her father, like how long that was. I wasn't expecting it to be days. I thought once she knew, she would pretty much be, killed like that night. But she knows for days, and that's horrific.
I think she had even suspected it for a while before.
I think so, yeah. What was the exact tip off?
When she sees she sees Bob getting the diary, or going for the diary, and then she sees Leland coming out of the house.
Oh! Do you think she knows then? Do you think she knows? Because she clearly suspects at that
She was in denial then.
Yeah,
I think
Oh,
that
no, it can't be him.
Because even then, after that, Mike still pulls up beside them, waves that ring at them. He's like, "It's him, it's your father."
But I feel like when she sees him coming out of the house is when, like, she's probably had suspicions, I think maybe before that.
Yeah.
Vaguely, but they're so far repressed she can't even accept them. But when she sees him come out of the house is when it's really comes to the forefront of her mind that is an actual possibility.
Yeah.
And then when Mike pulls up, that's when it's just over.
Well, actually, I think when it's over is when Bob comes in and rapes her, and she sees her father's face.
Well, because she's going, "Who are you? Who are you?" to Bob.
Yeah. And then after that, she can't look at her father the same way.
Yeah.
And Bob realizes he's got to take her out.
And that's a hideous scene because she plays it really oddly. So at one stage it's like she's enjoying it or like she's getting something out of it, and it's hard to know whether that's because she's trying to draw Bob in and ask him who he is, or because she's almost like she's preparing herself for him when she sees the white lights. It's really uncomfortable. But then it plays into the whole thing: is Bob taking her over, and and is she being possessed as well as abused, and it's a complex dynamic they're going for, but it's a really, really awful, horrible scene to watch.
What do you guys think of the symbolism of the angel in the picture watching over her, and then it disappears?
No.
I'm not sure if that just represents, White Lodge spirits, maybe. Because I doubt it's anything, an actual Christian angel, but
yeah, I think it's more, I think it's one of those things that it's kind of in her head.
Yeah.
Because she did say about the angels have all gone away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's such a weird visual that I just don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, the angel, I think she feels it's protecting her, and then it goes away, and that really, really hurts her. And then in the train car, the angel actually comes and saves Ronette. And after Laura dies, then her angel comes back, and I guess that's the final shot. But
I think it's really interesting because I'm not sure. Like, I really want to know what it is that Bob wants, because I don't know. Does Bob want her? I always took it that Bob wanted to possess Laura Palmer, and that she beat him by getting killed. But does Bob just want her in the Black Lodge? I feel like maybe it changed over time, or I just don't know what's the...
Pretty sure...
Who wins and who loses?
Yeah. Well, all I've ever heard is that Bob wants to be her, and he puts that mirror down in front of her face, and she sees Bob in her reflection.
But he'll take the bronze with getting her locked in the Black Lodge, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think she's locked in the Black Lodge at the end? Because her and Cooper seem happy together at the end, and some people say that the movie actually has a happy ending and that the two of them together are moving on to the White Lodge or whatever.
It's true.
That's what it really did seem like to me. Yeah, they're happy in the end and there's happy music.
Yeah.
But
that's also not as good as just getting killed off and not having to deal with any lodges.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks for Cooper, he didn't actually even die. But now he's got to go to the White Lodge forever.
The whole death scene. And the angel coming not to save her, but so the angel turns up just before she dies and does nothing to help her, and then she goes through this horrible murder, and then is laughing in one of the lodges with Cooper just kind of standing, looking pensive. It doesn't feel like a happy ending to me. I don't know. The angels I don't get. I don't know that they work particularly well because they're just they're just so out of left field. They're just really unconnected to anything else.
I feel like it's the first plan is Bob gets to possess Laura Palmer. That's not going to work out, so she ends up getting locked up in the Black Lodge. But luckily Cooper comes along, and because of Cooper, they're able to escape. So I think we still need and maybe that would be the next films or the third season or whatever to explain how we get Cooper, get Bob out of Cooper and they get released. He gets released to White Lodge, whatever.
Yeah,
it's just we never got that next piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. I'm interested to know if Cooper can actually come back from this, or if he's, basically dead, and now it's just a question of if he stays in the Black Lodge or goes to the White Lodge.
Well, I think it's like Leland. We got after Bob left Leland, he died, and it was, he knew what he did and was terrified. But I think Leland still gets some reprieve, maybe. I don't know.
What'd you guys think of the dance, the pink room scene, as it's called?
Oh man.
Can I read the description of this in this the shooting script?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, interior Partyland.
Partyland.
It's called Partyland. The group enters a large room with the filthiest wall-to-wall carpet imaginable. In the back corner is a small stage. On it, a 3-piece hell metal band is building up towards oblivion. The lead singer is dressed up in a buffalo skin, complete with at least half the buffalo head and horns. He wears spray-painted day-glow orange cowboy boots.
Wow. I don't think that's how it ended up.
Yeah, it goes on talking about half-dressed girls.
But I like how they call it a hell metal band.
Yes.
It kind of did sound like music from hell.
I thought it was more bluesy, but
I liked
whatever.
it.
I love it.
Blues from hell. I liked it.
Anyways, yeah, and I have some of the dialogue that nobody could ever hear. I don't know if you guys want me to read that too.
It's...
Oh, can we act out one bit of it?
I know the bit. I know the bit you mean, Claire.
John, can we act it out?
When John do it.
Is this I am the great vent?
Yeah, hang on, let me find it. Okay, you start.
I am the great went.
I am the muffin.
It's like the forgotten line from I Am the Walrus.
Yeah.
I know, I love it.
It goes, I am as blank as a fart.
John, you were supposed to reply to I am the muffin. You were supposed to say, and what a muffin you have.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
And then you say, I am as blank as a fart.
Oh, I missed it, sorry. And then he goes later, my high school sandwich. Let's put some meat inside.
Jock. I like what Mel said that guy looked like.
That guy, the trucker guy or whatever.
Buck?
And Buck,
Yeah,
Buck. He looks like Neil Diamond. Makes him look like even more of a sleazo. Gross. Anyways, at one point when Laura meets Ronette in the Partyland, they talk about Teresa and how it's been a year. Yeah.
Since they partied with her? Or since she died?
She's been dead a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that Donna's with in that scene, doesn't he look like Paul Rudd?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I see that.
It really weirded me out.
I've put a note about before they go in the pink room. There's that lovely moment between Laura and the log lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which went over my head, as usual. Everything the log lady says. What'd you make of it?
I think she's basically just saying that Laura's on a path and it's going to be very hard to kind of recover from it. But she sort of says, when this kind of fire starts, it's very hard to put out or something, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And then she basically says all hope is in jeopardy. So I think she's kind of warning her.
I think the log lady sort of represents a sort of hope that it's not completely the end for Laura and that she can go back. And for me, it was the same thing with her appearance in the book. It's kind of disappointing that nothing came of the log lady, even though it really touched Laura and she could kind of feel that there was. I don't know. She started crying. Maybe Laura felt it was hopeless and that she was kind of feeling that the log lady had given her like a false hope, or is that she just wasn't able to be strong enough to change. I don't know.
We have to talk about the scene where Mike rolls up to a Leland and Laura. That is amazing.
Yeah, I love that scene. I like how it all starts with yet another decrepit old man trying to walk.
Yeah.
which holds up all the traffic.
Yes.
But
David Lynch loves his decrepit old man.
Yes.
I love it because I love the idea of Mike like driving around trying to snoop out Bob.
Yeah.
And just circling him.
Was there subtitles there? Because I found that hard to hear too.
No, I didn't have subtitles on that, but I had them on the pink room.
Okay.
I have mine on, but I have my subtitles on anyway because I'm deaf.
The one thing that was a big. Maybe I'm wrong, but how does he then not know who Bob is in the series? So he comes up to the car and so he clearly knows that Bob is in Leyland, and then for several episodes in the series he wanders around the police station sniffing, going, Bob is near.
Maybe he doesn't know who Leland is.
Maybe
He doesn't remember the face. He's bad at remembering faces.
It's the white hair. Doesn't recognise him with white hair.
Oh yeah,
Cunning. That was the thing that I thought. I was like, I didn't think he knew who Bob was, so why has he pulled his car up to shout at him? I didn't quite get that, but...
There was an interesting part where Laura was like, I smell... What did she say? I smell oil or engine oil or scorched. Something like that.
Something burning.
Yeah, something burning. I was kind of under the impression that Leland was revving the engine to hide the scent of scorched engine oil.
Maybe.
Well, they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So, no, it was like the mystical scorched engine oil versus the real scorched engine oil.
No, that's just regular engine oil. Keep driving.
Yeah. Yeah, but then they kind of pull into that garage and can't tell what's going on with Leland, or if it's Bob thinking, or if that's Leland remembering some Bob things.
I think that's Leland having a flashback and kind of remembering the stuff that Bob did.
Yep.
Because I think we're seeing, because I only assume that we're kind of seeing, as Bob's getting stronger and Leland's losing more control, that maybe, I just can't see that Leland has been this controlled by Bob the whole time.
Well, yeah, it's true, because he must have known somewhat of what's going on, because in the train car he says, I always thought you knew it was me. Yeah. Which breaks your heart. But
Yeah.
so it's not like he only realized what was happening in the episode from the series where he died.
Or what if that's just Bob like turning the screw that much more?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
That's almost more disturbing, I think.
I wonder if, like, after all that time, because if like Bob's been in Leland since Leland was a little boy, then like one of the things I wonder is if they have kind of like almost merged a little bit, and Bob, it's the lines are not just Bob Leyland, they are blurred. Because Bob's been pretending to be this kind of father figure in Laura's life. I'm not saying Bob, cares about her, but maybe the line has blurred a bit. That he does feel in some way paternal to her in his own sick and twisted way.
Did you have a line you wanted to bring up, Mel?
No.
No? You highlighted it.
I just thought it was funny.
It's from that when he's yelling at him, right?
Yeah. You can't really understand everything that he says, but at one point Gerard yells at Leland, "You stole the corn! I had it canned above the store!" And apparently he's supposed to be incredibly sweaty in this scene. Like,
He did look
they say like sweat is pouring from his forehead, like buckets of sweat. That's gross.
Do you want to talk about some of the cut scenes you came across?
Yeah, there was some cut scenes with Ed and Nadine.
Yeah, you described it.
Apparently there's Ed is trying to skin a deer, and he's doing a really horrible job at it because Nadine keeps running out, yelling at him. She's like, "You're doing it all wrong, and you're really slow. Let me do it." Yeah. And then he goes and sits with his gas station assistant guy, and he's like, "Works every time."
Works every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Nadine skinning a deer?
That'd be awesome. She's just like, slaughtering it. But what I like the one you mentioned about Doc Hayward.
The Wikipedia page just has like a listing of like what some of the deleted scenes are, and it just the description themselves just sounds hilarious.
Like what?
Hold on, let me get back to it here.
I want to see the boxing one.
Okay, I have the Doc Hayward scene here.
Okay.
So Doc Hayward walks in, and Laura's trying to find a cigarette. She finally finds a cigarette and lights it. Doc stands and stares at Laura smoking. "Why is it that you can't smoke at your home, and I'm a doctor, and I don't allow smoking in my home, and I let you smoke in my home?" And then Laura says, smiling her killer smile, "Because you love me so much?" And then Doctor says, "I do love you, you little smoking whippersnapper."
It's that Laura Palmer aura again.
And then this whole scene, Laura and Donna call each other muffins, which I think that's where the "I am the muffin" quote stemmed from, because they're eating muffins.
I was going to say, when Doc Hayward asked Laura that and said, "Why do I let you smoke in my house and I don't let anyone?" At least she didn't go, "Because your skin's so soft and you smell so good."
It was James in this movie. He sounded even more wimpy in this movie.
It's like, I don't know if it was just our copy, but it sounded like his voice was pitched up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm more like this. But Laura.
I did.
She did a good impression of him.
Laura.
Yeah. I did laugh though when she slapped him in the face and he just smiled, but because he's too stupid to really to leave.
to register pain.
Yeah. But what an asshole! He just let her run into the woods.
Yeah. Can I say, talking of stupid, how stupid was Laura's teacher when Laura's sitting there bawling her eyes out, looking like she's having a nervous breakdown, doesn't say anything?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this description of the deleted scenes that was so funny. Where is it?
All I know is there was a deleted scene in which Chris Isaac was wearing a wife beater and doing boxing, and I want to see that.
All right, I've got the list here.
Okay. I'd quite like to see that.
Here's a bullet point list of some things that got cut out. Sheriff Harry Truman singing to girlfriend Josie Packard.
Yes.
Darn. Johnny Horn's birthday party.
Aww.
Bobby Briggs' parents reading from the Bible.
Oh,
No, they're reading from the Book of Revelations.
That's the Bible.
Yeah.
Doc Hayward performing magic tricks.
That's right before he tells Laura that thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
His magic trick is, look, I'm going to make my other two daughters disappear.
And a fight scene between Chester Desmond and Sheriff Cable.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, they actually that's the wife beater scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently Sheriff Cable takes his shirt off Claire.
Cable bend steel. He can bend steel like no one else.
I know.
All right. Last chance to get anything out there you guys want to talk about we haven't covered.
The bit at the end where Leland's outside Glastonbury Grove and he's screaming and he's got the crazy makeup.
Yeah, Laura had that at one point too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so horrible.
It's kind of the Wyndham Earle pasty face makeup.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for him in that bit.
It's worth getting the screenshot of Laura wearing it as she pulls off Harold's shoulder. It's really freaky. Really, really nasty.
So what is that? Just something that happens to people who are associated with the Black Lodge?
Yep. That's as good an explanation as we'll get, I think.
Yeah. No.
Did we talk about that part where Philip Gerard and the man from another place talking as his they were kind of talking together?
When he holds
with that?
Oh yeah, we found out that the little man is Mike's arm.
Yeah. And the part where Leland is kind of floating at an angle.
Yeah.
He really looks like Bob's puppet.
So I didn't understand that. Why, if Bob, killed somebody, he's evil, fine. But why did Mike and the little man, who sometimes seems that they're good, why did they want the Garmin Bozia from this kill?
Do you feel like maybe the arm, maybe that's connected somehow with the ring? Maybe Mike has the ring?
Maybe.
And that's why he cut off the arm, and that's why the arm goes numb?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Like it's been cut off, yeah.
Right.
When you put on the ring.
They said it was kind of like a phantom limb kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. People still feel their arm, even when it's not there.
Oh, one more note. I just love this movie because there was so much Bob.
Yeah.
Because he's awesome.
Well, yeah, what did you guys think of seeing, we read about it a bunch of times in the book, Bob coming through her window and hiding in corners and such. What did you think of seeing it?
He really is the scariest villain ever.
Yeah.
Love it.
He, as far as we know, he's undefeatable. He's unbeatable.
I forgot to mention when Bob... this is horrible, but when Bob was raping Laura and she was like enjoying it, It seemed like she was like, what are you enjoying there? Like the feel of denim on your skin?
So scratchiness.
So scratchy.
The touch, the feel of denim. Our lives.
Also, I know this was not supposed to be funny either, but when he was leading both leading Ronette and Laura to the train car, it looked like he was leading a pack of huskies at the Iditarod.
It's true.
It was kind of sad, but it's just his face. He was so gleeful.
I know that shot is scary and funny at the same time. Yeah.
The whole scene with Leo and Jacques, and then that bit feels quite rushed. Actually, it feels like they're just trying to get to the train car to get to the final scene. I don't know if he had a kind of, you've got to do 2 minutes, 2 hours 20 or whatever, and they're just trying to cram it in, but it is almost comical. You want the Benny Hill music playing, running to the train car.
You could put that in there, it would fit.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know.
Yakety sax.
Yeah.
That's it.
That should be the song for this episode.
I would not.
No, put it at the end.
Alright, so Brad has to go in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So let's,
Alex is usually late, so we've probably got an extra couple. He'll just show up at my door.
He won't call you.
No. He'll just show up in my patio. Clarissa Explains It All style.
Does he not climb in through the window?
He climbs down to the patio.
Okay.
It's weird.
It's not like Bob coming in.
It's kind of like Bob. A little scary.
So you guys have any quotes?
Oh.
There's only one quote that I could bear to write down, which is when she's with James and she goes, "Gobble gobble."
That was terrible.
That was.
I just kind of completely gobsmacked. What's the exact quote? I've got it. She goes, "I'm gone like a turkey in the corn. Gobble gobble." Just.
Even better though is his reaction. You are not a turkey.
A turkey's one of the dumbest animals.
I think I have two, but my favourite one is Oregon.
Yeah. I got a creepy one. Wash your hands.
You want to hear about our specials? We don't have any.
I loved hers. I have a couple of quotes from her too.
I don't do drugs, yeah.
Who's that towhead? Those drugs are legal.
Oh, yeah. Who's that towhead? Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Who's the towhead? Yeah.
Oh, I love this little interchange. That's not the way out to Deputy Cliff's trailer, I told you. I'm not going out to Deputy Cliff's trailer. Well, where the hell are you going? I'm going over here. What's over there? God damn, these people are confusing.
I love that part.
That's right.
I love
Harry. I love the bit when Harry Dean Stanton. Oh, sorry, Matt. Go on.
Yeah, I was just about to say I love Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, I love the bit where he's saying about people coming to visit the trailer, and he says something like, "It's just more shit I gotta do." He's complaining about his.
Yeah, and he runs into that tenant. She's like, "Where's my goddamn hot water? I'm gonna get you some Valium."
In the scene above the convenience store where he goes, "This is the Formica table. Green is its colour." I love the dialogue in those scenes, but that's the most bizarre thing.
Yeah,
I know, it's funny.
Actually, yeah, Mike mentioned something about the Formica table when he's yelling at them from the RV.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the other theories, that like the ring, the green came from like the table. I know I've read, because there's like a little bit of the table missing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like, maybe, but I don't see why it would.
I have the Sheriff Cable. In fact, when the State Boys called me about a J. Edgar coming up here, I said, "So what?"
There's just another random one that I thought sounded funny from Gordon Cole at the beginning. "Give Sam Stanley the glad hand. He's come over from Spokane." I don't know why. It just struck me as really funny.
The glad hand.
Yeah.
And the trailer park manager calling coffee "Good Morning America." I got one more. If I had a nickel for every cigarette your mom smoked, I'd be dead. Alright, so do you want to rate it? Claire, you want to go first?
Okay. I haven't actually thought of a rating, but it's kind of hard. It's alright, I can think of one. It's kind of hard to rate, because you can either rate it as like a standalone film or like a film in Twin Peaks, and I think it's definitely stronger as a Twin Peaks film than a film on its own. So I do love it more and more every time I see it. But I don't think it kind of reaches the heights of the series. So I'm going to give it 8 coffee-soaked Keith Sutherland laps out of 10.
All right. What about you, John?
I think I'd give it 7 specials that they don't serve out of 10. And I think I kind of agree with what Claire said. I was talking to you on Twitter, Matt, and saying that my main emotion from the film, it leaves me frustrated because it's not as good a standalone film as I'd like, because it's got too much, references and loose ends it's got to tie up. But it's not quite the Twin Peaks film I want, because the characters I'd like to see and the whimsy aren't in there. And so the thing I love the most are the opening scenes and the bits that are new and that give you a real disconcerted sense. The Bowie scene in the trailer park, and then some of the stuff between Ray Wise and between Leyland and Laura, which I think is fantastic. But overall, it's that sense of it doesn't quite hit all the right buttons on any level, but still, I think the more I've watched it, the more I've got out of it, and I've enjoyed it more. And I'm going to read the book and then watch it again.
Yeah, I think that'll help a lot. Your turn, Mel.
I'm going to do a 7.5 out of 10 reverse spoonfuls of Garmin Bozio.
Reverse?
Yeah, because remember he was eating the cream corn, but then it looked like he was kind of, I don't know, it looked like it was filmed in reverse because the spoon looked really clean at the end.
Yeah, so
he was just kind of slurping it in.
In reality, he was probably spitting it onto the spoon.
Yeah, spitting it onto the spoon.
And then play it backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew.
So why that rating?
Because, like they said, there's a lot of loose ends that are not tied up. There's a lot of but it's still a good movie. Especially once you've read the book. But it's just confusing, and people who came into it, they would probably rate it really much lower.
Yeah.
Without knowing what's going on.
Oh, without having seen the series,
Jesus,
you would give this a 0.
Yeah. There's no way you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 high school sandwiches. I think it's a great look into the horrible life of Laura Palmer and Leland. Actually, he's got a horrible life too, and I like it better each time I watch it. I think this is my 4th time. Probably my first time, I would have given it a 5 out of 10. It just didn't feel like Twin Peaks to me at all. It felt like something alien and completely different and not connected. But now it's starting to all become one thing for me, the movie and the series. Yeah, so that's what I thought.
I think, it's difficult. It really is difficult. I think I'd have to go 9.5 out of 10 cups of Good Morning America.
Ooh.
Because I really do like it, because it really goes for it, and it's so dark. And the only real complaints I have are the fact that there's so much left unanswered, and so much that is clearly just set up for further movies that never happened. But you can't blame this movie for that. And it's just so interesting, and it's great. I love it. It's visually terrifying.
Yeah, I'm really glad you like it. Okay. Caitlin?
I'm going to go, same as Brad, go 9.5 motivational speeches by Leo out of 10.
Nice.
Followed by a slap to the back of the head.
I really, really liked it. It paired with the series, I found this absolutely delightful.
Not a word that's often used to describe this film.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm really, really tired as well. But there were just so many elements. It had the feeling that you really had in the first half of the series, and it was a lot darker and more creepy, and a lot of it is just weird for the sake of weird, and I really like that. There were just all the things that were thrown in just to be thrown in, detracted a little bit, just seeing the random character spots like Harold and stuff wasn't that particularly pleasing, but overall I really enjoyed it.
So does it make you guys want to just go back and start at episode 1 again?
It does.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're actually going to revisit the pilot and
Should we do the European pilot?
Yeah, we're gonna do the European pilot. Just, might as well. if you can get a hold of it, Brad.
I'm sure I can.
It's on YouTube, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, if worst comes to worst, I think. Pretty sure it's on there.
Yeah. So now that we've seen...
Don't do that!
No, the monkey, I can't. No, I'm about to go to bed. I don't want to know.
Okay. I lost my train of thought. I'm too scared. Yeah, so now that we've seen the whole series, I think it... What was that from?
That's electricity. It's the guy saying electricity. Sorry, I found a site where you can play all these clips. That was me doing that.
Well, I knew it was you. I don't remember that clip. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna be revisiting the pilot, I think, since we've seen the whole thing, and our thoughts on it will probably be like wildly different. Plus, I just want Brad and Caitlin to see the European version with a little bit of extra footage and the random 25 years later scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna split up the feedback for next time. Thanks for coming on, John and Claire.
Thanks so much for having me.
John, do you have anything to plug, or are you just a guy?
No, I do. The thing I do a lot is the Pod Delusion, which is a UK podcast. It's not mine, but it has loads of contributors, and I do it, and did the only thing you might have come across is Douglas Adams tribute that I did last year, which is about an hour long, and you can get on the Pod Delusion website. So if you're into Douglas Adams, that's the thing I did.
Cool.
All right, Claire.
Hello.
What do you got?
Well, first of all, thank you for being patient with my Bob-possessed Wi-Fi.
It's all right. You can't help what the Black Lodge does.
I can't, yeah. I put on the ring now, so that's why it's okay, but it means I'm going to die later, so...
Okay. Here's Alex. It's all right.
You can find me and my friend Hammy and two other people, two other randoms on CarnyCast, which is a podcast about Carnival. And if you like Twin Peaks, then you'll love Carnival. It even has the man from Another Place in it.
Okay. Brad, are you ready to plug?
Yes, you guys can catch me on the Ramjack podcast, where we have fun. We talk about all kinds of wacky shenanigans. And we had Claire on recently, I think. Or in the future. She's on.
Awesome. All right.
I've been on a few times recently.
All major public holidays.
Yeah.
Caitlin, you got anything yet?
No.
Okay. That's fine. You can catch Caitlin here. All right. Well, everyone's got to go to bed, and Brad has to go do Ramjack.
We have to eat.
And we have to eat.
We're really hungry.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll catch you next time for the feedback episode of Firewalk. Do you have another thing, Claire?
No.
Oh, I thought you said ooh.
No.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook. And visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a tune for you guys. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.